So I haven't uploaded anything in a while. Um, Basically, what I've been doing between work and home chores is I've been sitting back and I've been watching the news. That's like most of what I've been watching. And this goes out to Tucker Carlson. This little congratulations for sticking through the bullshit, sticking through the attacks of the alt-left, sticking through the doxing, sticking through all the lies. Did I already mention that? I don't know. But he continues to bring us the facts of what's going on, and he continues to show us just what the fuck is happening in this world. And he's honest. He's unlike anybody in the news business anymore. He's honest. But I wanted to make a video earlier regarding the LA police officers who were shot by some criminal, some thug. One of them, a mother, she was shot in the face. She was shot in the mouth, and still she attended to her partner, called for help, and held out till help got there. Last I heard, they was in critical condition, and I don't know how they is now, and I hope they're doing all right. But if there's anything that you should know now, if you haven't been living under a rock, you should know the world is fucked. Our country is in danger. She is calling out to us right now through the flames that throw black smoke into her skies, through the fresh earth that has been disturbed to lay down graves of her citizens. It's time we fight. I just watched a video. We all heard about Kyle Rittenhouse, right? The leftist media, they called him a white supremacist. Really? What was anything white supremacist that boy ever said in his entire life? They gave no justification for it. They just called him a far-right militia member. In fact, I have no idea his political leanings, and I don't care. What I saw, he you know what he did on tape? You know what he was caught on tape doing? He said, "If you're wounded, come to me." Not if you're wounded a part of the militia, come to me. If you're wounded, point blank, come to me. That's what he said. He went there with medical equipment and surgical gloves to lend aid to anybody who's hurt. He also went there to defend a building, as far as I know, of somebody that he knows, a business. I believe it was a car dealership. Either way, it doesn't matter. He went in there to defend private property and to help people who need it. The alt-left didn't take too kindly to this. The fucking rioters who were setting those fires, who were destroying private and public property, and who were taking lives, probably before he even got there, they tried to kill him because he was trying to put out those fires and help the people who was hurt. Now, I don't think there's any hope left for the courts. I think it is time to fight. This may sound radical to some people, but I've had enough. They want civil war, and you know what? At this point, so do I. I want to fight. I want to get in every single riot. I want to get inside of every single riot that happens in this country so I can put every single one of them in the dirt. I'm tired of seeing them burning our cities. I'm tired of seeing them killing our countrymen. I'm tired of seeing them burn our flag and shred our Constitution, destroying our rights, invading our homes. Those fucking rioters, those little British cigarettes, you know how they get there? They're bussed in from out of town, from out of city, sometimes even out of state, funded by George Soros and his campaigns, funded by the Clinton crime family, funded by the entire Democrat plantation. That's how those riots happen, is they is bussed in, they is paid there to riot. And somebody sure as fuck is paying for all those shields and signs that is unloaded from those U-Hauls. You think those retards have any sort of money to pay for those U-Hauls? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think they have the money to pay for all that, because that takes millions of dollars. And they're not exactly united enough to put all their money together to make all this shit happen. No, they're paid to do it, and they're given the equipment to do it with. And they're taken from across other states. Now, it is time, and I truly think this would be the right way to go. But it's not okay if we do it, but it's okay if they do it, apparently. But we haven't done it yet, but we should do this. What we should do is, if it's okay for them to be bussed in from across the fucking country to riot, commit crimes, murder people, destroy people's rights, people's property, you know what? We should bust people in from wherever we can find them, form an army, find these rioters, and kill them all. We need to fight. And I wouldn't be saying this if I had any hope for the court system. I really wouldn't, because I would say, okay, defend yourself if it happens. Other than that, let the National Guard, which is basically the state militia, take care of it. But they haven't been taking care of it now, have they? Because those fucking Democrat terrorist Nazi governors won't let them do their jobs. And yes, all Democrats are Nazis. Think about it. They're socialists. They hate America. They hate the world. They hate anything that's good and proper and decent, so they try to destroy it. They want to take over the world. They want to rule everything and everyone. At least everyone that's left after they kill everybody. Yes, I do think all Democrats are Nazis. Now, I could be wrong. There's probably one or two good ones out there. I haven't seen them. They're not the ones who are rioting. But I don't see them calling out the rioters. Do you? I mean, if you do, please link me a video or send me a phone number or something of a Democrat who's actually denouncing rioters, because I haven't seen it. I surely haven't seen it on the news. No, I have not. But we should be hunting down anybody and everybody who has ever rioted. Not protested, rioted, because there's a major difference, a major fucking difference that the media seems to ignore now, that has ever rioted in any part of the world. And what we should do, we should find them, we should kill them. Now, the Lord says turn the other cheek. But I can't help it. I'm too angry. This anger has been festering every time I see a building or a car on fire, every time I see more casualty reports, every time I see another flag burned, another statue toppled, I get more and more angry, and it compounds, and it just makes my blood boil. My blood pressure is boiling over. I am in the perfect mood for a civil war. Every time I see that shit, it makes me want to kill even more. And I think we should be doing it. And we shouldn't just be fighting the rioters. We should declare war on not only the rioters, but the politicians who are shredding up the Constitution and putting their monarchical declarations of tyranny. Because actually that is our legal right against even our own government. We have the right to fight that government should it become tyrannical. And guess what? Idiots like Lightfoot and idiots like Cuomo, they is tyrannizing their people, violating their rights, and those people had every right to fight. We should be fighting the rioters. We should be fighting the politicians who are abusing their power and violating people's rights, and we should be fighting the Yankee mercenaries hiding behind badges saying, oh, it's okay because I have this little tin star on my chest. No. If you was a real cop, you would not be violating the very Constitution you swore to uphold and defend. And if you was a real human being, You wouldn't be okay with riots. You wouldn't be sitting there justifying them, saying, oh, they had a hard life. No, the fuck they haven't. They are living in the only free country, most prosperous country in the entire world, and our most poor among us is in the top 1% of the entire world. We are living in the lap of luxury, of freedom, of democracy, and of a dignity and honor that was set generations before us, before this generation fucked it up. And these assholes are ungrateful. And they are trying to destroy our country. That's why I say it's time for war, because they are actively destroying, they are successful in this, they are destroying our country. They are burning her to the ground, and they are ripping up her traditions, her statues, burning her flags. They are destroying the very laws and principles which gives her the ammunition and the ability to protect the rights of her people. They are destroying our Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is absolute, and it is time we invoke that Bill of Rights. We should say a word for what's right and hit a lick against what's wrong, even if it means we get walloped for saying that word. And folks, these rioters are wrong. These politicians are wrong. All this shit is wrong, and we have to stand and fight back. I tell you what, if these assholes had jobs, they'd have something to do besides rioting. They're only doing it because they're getting paid. I mean, like I said, but that's been proven. Just like that, I think it was a mayor in Nashville, a traitor to the Confederacy. Now, this asshole, when he heard about low infection rates regarding, I believe it was bars and such things, he said, oh, this is just info for the mayor's office, right? Not for public consumption. Why would you not tell people about that? It's not a one or even a two-pronged attack. What they are doing, they are using people's skin color to divide them, people's religions to divide them. They is using people's former, their immigration statuses to divide them. They is using the Kung Flu to spread fear. This is how they're getting their power, is through the Kung Flu, and they know this. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're lying about it. That's why they're making a simple friggin' flu seem like the Black Death. But actually, with its infection rate compared with its kill rate, if you put that side by side with the flu, it's less dangerous than the flu. I'd rather have the flu because I have more of, or not the flu, the Kung Flu. I'd rather have that one because I have more of a chance of surviving it. It may be a little more uncomfortable, but I have more of a chance of surviving it, to tell you the truth, when you look at statistical analysis of how it operates. Besides that, I probably got it and don't even know it. You probably do too. What these masks are, by the way, they don't stop you from getting it. They only stop you from spreading it, if that. They probably don't even work at that. What it's doing, though, the mask is basically Dwayne's version, and every Democrat's version, of a hijab. It is, more than anything else, it's a symbol of oppression and tyranny. They just told you to wear it because they like to jerk off at their own power. But they are using, even more than a mask, they are using the fear of it to push in these unconstitutional bullshit, which takes away your rights, which you have every right to fight back for. If Dwayne's mercenaries ever came up to me and tried to take me away for not wearing a mask, I would draw my sword, because I always carry a sword. I always carry a sword no matter where I go, in case I have to fight for my rights. And you know what? I'm not afraid to die for my rights, and neither should you be. Thousands of people have died for our rights. What right have we to take that gift that they have given us and not be willing to do the same? What right have we to sit here and watch as the dream of our forefathers goes up in flames? What right have we to sit in our own uncomfortable houses and watch our country burn and our people suffer? I don't give a fuck about skin color. I don't care what religion you is. I don't care where you's from. If you are an American citizen who loves this country, I don't care if you're an immigrant or not, if you're an American citizen who loves this country or who is working to be a citizen because you love this country, then you and me, we is on the same side, and we need to do this together. We need to come together and say no more rioters. We need to vote away these governors and these mayors and these local sheriffs who are pushing this blatantly unconstitutional crap, saying you are either going to stop violating our rights and we're going to try this legal stuff one more time, and if that don't work, we will fight for our rights. The only thing is, I don't think the courts are going to work. They become a political tool. Just ask the guy that charged Rittenhouse. That boy is a hero. He ain't no white supremacist or a racist. I don't even think he's part of a militia. He's a 17-year-old kid who just went out trying to help people because he knew that people needed it. If you're a decent person, you can understand that. The desire to help people that need it. I have that. I have the desire to help people that need it. I wouldn't ask their political affiliations first. No. I would ask, okay, how can I help? We need to take our country back. And at this point, there's only one way to do it, and that is by the sword. Now, I've been ready for civil war for a long time, though, but I've always said, hold out hope that the law will prevail, but I don't have any hope left. And I certainly haven't had hope in humanity for a long time. I haven't had faith in people for a long time, and it's because of shit like this. Because throughout history, humans have proved themselves to be selfish, backstabbing, worthless, dishonorable, deceitful. Basically, politicians. Here's a little fact for you to chew on. The reason to be a politician is to take power. Now, what we want in office, what we need in office is somebody who doesn't want the job but is felt called to do that, just like George Washington. He did not want the job. He took the job because he felt that he had to answer his country's call. That he had a job to do, and he put his own personal desires away so he could do that job. What we don't want is somebody who actually wants that job, because that somebody who wants that job is somebody who's in it for power, and that somebody doesn't give a fuck about you or about the Constitution. They spilled blood of the innocent. It's time we started spilling blood of traitors and tyrants and use it to refresh the blood of liberty. Instead of them ending people by their bike locks and their skateboards, we should end them by the edge of the sword. If not the edge of the sword, then the end of a rope. It is time to end it. It is time to end the violence. The only way to do that sometimes is through violence. I don't want violence. I am angry and I want to fight them, but I don't want to plunge my whole country into war, but I'm afraid that's what it's going to take. If I had my way, just line them up, I'll take care of them myself. But there is no other way at this point. We all have to get in it. We all have to resist the tyranny. Go out and get you a constitution, a pocket constitution. Better yet, get yourself an actual printout replica of it, like what I got back there. Now you read that carefully. You read that. That will tell you your rights. And those rights cannot be taken away. Not for some flu, not for some social emergency, nothing like that. Those rights cannot be taken away. The Bill of Rights is absolute. That is the only reason that the Anti-Federalists accepted that Bill of Rights, is because the government could not touch it. Now, if they figured, oh, hey, with every natural disaster that happens, the government can take the Bill of Rights and limit it, or can limit it over time, they wouldn't have accepted it, because that's the very thing that they feared with the federalized system, is abuse of power and the rights of the people being trodden on. Shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. That holds true with the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, Third, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth, and 10th. It is to be untouched. And they've been touching it for a century. And it's time to turn it on its head. Turn the whole Democrat Marxism thing on its head. It is time that we eliminate the violent rioters who are killing the innocent. And it's time that we vote out and replace these asshole politicians who have been infringing on our rights for years, and replace them with human beings. Politicians are not human beings. Politicians are slime. Self-serving slime. We need to get a servant of the people in every level of government, in every office, in every city, in every state in the union. We need to get rid of the politicians and put servants in. Servants of the people, who will repeal the unconstitutional bullshit and let the law prevail. And we need to put in people who's not afraid to put the National Guard on the streets and say, hey, there's a riot. These people are hurting people. These people are burning your city. Stop them. That's not happening right now, so now we have to do it. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I don't know, am I being crazy? What the hell has the world gone to? That's my question. Is there any hope left? You tell me. Is there any hope left for humanity? At any point before the second coming, can we actually find some kind of peace on this planet? I really can't tell you, because I don't know. I'm thinking at this point, you know what? All this shit is probably leading up to the second coming. That's probably why it's going on. I mean, think about it. There's nothing left on the calendar. That's it. That's the last major event. This is probably what's going on. While that may be the case, it is still our duty to defend our country. Let God's will be done, but we don't know God's will. All we can do is our duty. And our duty is to stop the rioters and to punish murderers. Not punish people who defended themselves against the mob. People like Rittenhouse. People like the Lukowskis, who didn't even fire a shot. Normal, everyday citizens who found themselves in danger and defended themselves. Didn't even want the danger. Didn't even want to have to defend themselves. Didn't even want to have to fire those shots. But were forced into it. Now, I can't imagine any one of you wants to see war. I can't imagine that. Because unlike the politicians and the rioters, a lot of you are likely decent people. I know at least a couple of you are. I know at least a couple of you that subscribed. But what alternative do we have besides fighting? I probably shouldn't be making this video right about now. I just got done watching the news again, so I'm kind of amped up. Nevertheless, it is how I feel at this moment. I want to see those rioters get what they deserve, and I know the courts won't do it. Just however you think of how I'm feeling right about now, just remember this, that the Democrats are not on your side, they're not on my side, they're not on the side of the country. They're on the side of money and power. They'll do anything to get it. Do not vote blue. Vote American. Vote for the president, the sitting president currently in office right now. Vote to re-elect him. Get every Democrat traitor out of Congress. Out of the House of Representatives. Out of every office that you can vote for. Get them out and put patriots in.